What is happening, y'all? Welcome back to the walkthrough. So, as a reminder, we are here at the Provisional Government Outskirts. Level-wise, we're up to 110. We've already grabbed the Chemlight that was over there and the MJ310 over there. So we're going to continue on down this path. So we have a couple enemies waiting for us. Just take care of them.
This.
The anti-slow.
This isn't the best place to fight. Beautiful.
Okay. Here we're gonna take a left first. Grab the game. No. It's a bad big girl. Kill the fatty. And we're gonna drop down.
We don't know what might
now this next part can be a little bit tricky. You got a big fatty there. You have some gunners that are like over there. And even more crap will pop up. So what we're gonna do first is run on over and take out this guy. And that's exactly why I said this area can be tricky. So going in again, usually that spot works pretty well because you get there and you can usually roll and get a free backstab. But unfortunately, it did not work out there for me. Definitely did not work out at all. Because the other strategy I tested for that area is essentially running up and to the right. So it's like you get up behind the gunners, but you also invite even more crap to be on top of you. So it's a bit of like a risk-reward scenario with which approach you want to take. Because ideally, you want to get a backstab on the fatty, and then immediately go into a special ability. And then that'll knock the fatty out, and from there it's just you taking on some archers. So we're gonna put this on and a buff.
I make good use of this.
We're gonna do the Zerg the Fatty first approach. Alright, fatty down. Got that one down. Hellish little battle.
Did you find something
Grab the
good?
blood barrier tonic. Let me see. Blood barrier tonic and a lost crystal, which is what this one is guarding. Oh, you're guarding the Queen Titanium. I just wrote a typo there. Let me make sure I didn't miss a... The lost crystals up ahead, as we did you. This path is actually for progression. We're going to skip that for now. There's some other stuff over this way we're going to do. Oh, hang on. There is my lost crystal. Yep. Looks like she dropped a titanium and I picked that up. It's too fast for my own good. Alright, so we got a bunch of enemies up ahead from here. Just fight your way past it all. And we're going to kind of stick to the right first. Titanium, and then there should be double 310 that we can gain access to here. There's 1 310. There's another 310.
What's that?
I'm going to get the missile. Now, where did that guy go? Oh, am I going to get a sweet double plunge? Now, this guy is using a sword known as Argent Brand. It is a very nice sword. In my opinion, I think it's one of the best swords in the game. I actually like it more than the Zweihander. And the main reason for that is it has a very, very attractive moveset. Now, with that being said, there's going to be an enemy that we'll encounter a little bit later that's going to be much easier to farm that has that sword. He's literally right next to a missile. So, if you want the sword, I'd suggest waiting for that point, just because it'll be a lot easier, you know, just in a little bit here. And it's by the end of this episode that we're going to encounter that enemy, so just hold off for now. It is a Crush Great Sword, but I would consider it to be the best of the Crush Great Swords. This is why spikes are so nice. And now we're back to where we were.
Watch your footing.
Okay, so I'm gonna go this way.
This is
And big ol' smash on that. Grab mobility enhancer. And we have another tricky zone right here. So there are little areas to the left and right with enemies. We are going to go to the left first, and this is going to prevent a potential ambush from happening. There. Come up behind this one. And we'll pick up this. It's a lot easier approaching that from the angle we just went. If you come from the right side, basically, you get this one, both dogs, and the halberd elite all on you at the same time. Doesn't end well, as you can probably guess. So, let's see. For elite and a mobility enhancer, a cartridge on the right. Take the, get that, and then go back, take a path left. 2 dogs, elite guard in the right box at the end. Got left for a record. Continue on. Our tungsten right here. Love that tungsten. And then there's a bunch of crap up ahead, guarding titanium off to the right. That.
Did I play my part well?
Alright, now run ahead. I'm gonna go up and kill this guy first. Then we're gonna go back where that halberder is for a activation. I'm gonna grab our EOS Part D first. Usually you can plunge that target from right here. IO engaged as opposed to following me though, so that did not work out. So I'll pop the extension factor. Next area has some shards, titanium, and then ivory grace in a chest. So another spot that's a little bit of a shit show, a bunch of different enemies here. That guy right there, that is the exact guy we're going to farm for our Argent Wolf brand. So lost crystal, guard booster, queen titanium, ivory Grace, if I can make my way out of the chest. This one's worth taking a look at. Ivory Grace is a very nice balanced veil. As you can see, 949 light, 864 dark. Let me just go to like a caster setup just to better show this off. So, and kind of how I mentioned, you know, Suicide Spur will have a little bit more dark. And if you're going on the light side of things, Noble Silver will have more. I mean, that's +6 compared to this at +9. But if you just want all-around casting, this is a very, very nice veil. It's basically perfectly balanced, so essentially whatever spells you want to use, you can use light spells, dark spells, and get really, really solid bang for your buck if you're doing like a dual mage, essentially. So anyway, kick the ladder on down. If you need to, obviously rest at the missile, since it's right there. I'm gonna continue up. Let me switch that back up before I end up dead. Go right first. Uh-oh, looks like you missed. Right.
Do you suppose
Go
that's
up
a good
ahead. And we're going to be circling our way back to this part over here, but essentially we're going to come out from over there first and then tackle this. So I'll just let Io handle you. Good job. So there are a couple queen guards. You can kind of see them right here, right behind the boxes. So what I would do is go and then go into an ability. Interestingly enough, if you try and go straight into your ability, your spin to win right there, it'll actually just bounce off the boxes. Like, you'll hit the boxes, you won't actually proceed through. So it's worth it to break the boxes and then do your ability. Otherwise, you're going to be really disappointed and out some micro that you could have spent on other things. So kill them, grab all the boxes, roll through it to satisfy your lust to break things. And grab the lost crystal. And there's another enemy right here. You don't actually need to fight this thing, but I mean, might as well. Easy enough kill. And with these things dropping 13,000 haze, it's kind of like, well, I might as well kill you. Lost crystal and sandbags. We got a pure blood here in the warehouse. Come on, a slam. And plasma cylinder and this thing. There's our plasma cartridge. Now there is a missile a little bit up ahead, so if you're like really low on health, I'd suggest just going for it. But if not, we're gonna finish clearing out this zone. Oh no. No, 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 no! That ended very badly almost.
Watch your footing. Can you still regenerate?
Alright, we get the guard boost. Snipe the monkeys off to the right. We have an elite guarding a rotten missile. Oh. Oh, there we go, that works. That's the majority of our map. The next one being right up ahead. So grab the lost crystal. And then you want to go from this angle. There's a bunch of monkeys that we're going to spike. Just give it a second here. Alright, now we can grab that. And I forgot to grab that earlier. Son of a bitch. Alright, well, we'll circle back real fast to get that. But that takes care of all the enemies in this part. And then up ahead from here, it's pretty much just missile and boss. So
Heading there now.
yes, heading there now. Let's go grab that shiny that we missed. Which actually, I don't know if I put that in my notes. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, yep, should be a protein powder. Protein powder. Then go right. I've missed the protein powder. But yeah, you definitely don't want to go down. Because if you go down, all those monkeys are just going to jump up on top of you. It's just like monkey assault. And then you got to go and you're hitting more monkeys. And then you got to fight this shit head on. And then you climb up the ladder. And you can work across to the other ones from behind. But all in all, I think that route's a little bit easier. Alright, so back up top. Let's see. Do all the stuff. One elite, one missile. Continue on for white elite and item in boxes. Head is a titanium, then round missile before boss.
We can certainly use this. Want to rest a bit and move on?
Alright, and this is the farm missile. So what I'd suggest doing is basically putting on your Revenant's Greed. And then just running. And well, actually, we'll finish and we'll grab the items that we need first. But this guy he's basically here for you to get the sword. You know, you can walk right up and backstab him and charge up a heavy to smash him. Very, very easy to farm. To get the sword that you want. It's the blood cartridge, and then up ahead there should be a titanium and then a rotten missile. We're going to get those, and I am actually going to farm up this sword real fast before the boss, because right past this missile is the boss of the area, which is something that we've actually fought before, so it's not exactly a big challenge. Really want my brand, because that's the weapon that I'll be playing through with. You are going to drop the Argent Wolf brand for me, sir. Got lucky on the walkthrough prep. I ended up getting it from the first guy we encountered with it. So it only took like 2 runs, but of course, when I'm actually trying to get it to showcase it, they want to be finicky and not hand over. They're goodies. Well, I don't want to waste too much time on this guy. I'll give him one more try here. Well, maybe more than that. We're at what? A little bit over 19 minutes. I'll give it until 20 minutes in the video. Past 20 minutes, we're just gonna go after the boss and make our way to the final zone. Come on, dude. He's handed over. Remember if there was anything else. Oh, yeah, that's it. But basically, to talk about the sword briefly, when you use Fortify on it, it is very similar to the Zweihander. You have 100 slash and 100 crush resistance, with your pierce being like 96. So very good defensively. But the thing I really like about it is its charge attack and its base heavy attack are both very, very good. Basically, its charged heavy is a lunging horizontal slash. And when I say lunging, I mean like if I charge it, I'm going to slash all the way over to like here. So it's great because you can essentially safely charge up heavy attacks outside the reach of a boss. like while a boss is doing its animation change. You know, a lot of bosses have kind of like an AoE explosion that accompanies their change usually, and so it's kind of like, you know, can I get off this heavy attack? And with this sword, you can always get off that heavy attack. He just doesn't want to drop it. On top of that, the regular heavy sweep, like with the Zweihander, you know, it's a very slow. With that one, it is a very wide sweep where you basically do like a 360 and come from behind first. And it just decimates. I mean, the top end damage isn't quite as high as the Zweihander, but all in all, it's just a fantastic weapon, and it looks great. So it's my, I'd say it's my gray sword of choice. Damn. Well, anyway, you can farm this guy, and he will drop it, or the first one will drop it. I'd suggest this one since you're right next to a missile. I'll come back and I'll farm him after this episode so I can showcase it to y'all. So up next, we have Queen's Knight Reborn. You've actually fought this boss before, except now he's been reborn. He's a little bit beefier, a little bit faster. We're going to go ahead and toss on our Swift Destruction here and get all buffed up. You want to use an element. Ice is the element of choice here. There's that shield bash. Uh-oh, somebody's not going to get a chance to phase change. Let him do it, just so y'all can see. So after he, oh, now he's dead already, damn. If you let him, he will phase change, and there's essentially 3 phases to this guy. The first is that he'll go down and he'll get beefier, and then he'll start rapidly teleporting. And then after that, he has another change where he'll create a aura that will sap all of your Ichor away.
Lost left a vestige behind.
It did. So anyway, skip on in. You'll get a cutscene, and this talks a little bit about who Queen was before she became the queen, and it was Ishtar. She was essentially Gregorio's own daughter. So you get the Ishtar blood code.
So.
Yes, it does. Cruz Silva. Features gifts in aid, attacking and defending. Anyway, it's a really decent support gift. There's some neat stuff on it, stuff where it's like, you know, if your partner would go down instead, their health is left at 1 and you take the remainder of the damage. So you combo that with things like the like this thing where if I take damage, it heals a portion of it, and I can take a fat hit and I'll auto heal on up. There's all kinds of like silly uber healing support based kits you could make around using Ishtar and Cleansing Light that are pretty interesting. My only problem with doing support builds is that, you know, it's me doing the healing, and so I'm counting on whatever random I'm helping. Grab Zero District right there. But yeah, doing that, you're basically leaving it up to the other guy to be the one doing the big damage. And you can usually work in like some light magic, so you're not completely useless, but usually your bar is filled up with heavy support-oriented items running a build like that. And it, you know, it just leaves a little bit to be desired on the damage front. I've never been too big on being a pure support. Unless it's in Monster Hunter, because that shit's just goofy.
When I first found you, I felt a warmth in my heart. I didn't know why at the time, but you
now
had
you
some
know.
sort of strange power over me.
So I'd suggest bringing EO to this place. There's a bunch of attendants, but when you talk to them, they're like, oh, EO's here, and they'll just vanish away. But this is probably the longest map in the game. This is the Outskirts. Well, I don't know if longest in the game is correct. Technically, I think Cathedral is bigger than this area. But Outskirts is huge. It's also rather confusing, so I would suggest kind of pulling up the maps that are listed in the description for this next area. But before we continue on to the Provisional Government Center, I'm actually going to go farm up my Argent with Brand because I'd like to use it in this final area and on the final boss. So stay tuned, and I'll catch you all soon enough with the Provisional Government Center.